A dog has loyally followed its owner for 10 years, but is now being abandoned. The man throws the dog's favorite toy, and the dog chases it, only to realize the owner has boarded the plane. The dog seems to sense something and frantically runs after it, blocking the plane with its body. The pilot brakes suddenly, startling passengers who crowd by the window to identify a dog. Palma the dog runs over, barking to attract the owner's attention. The man remains still, his face cold and without expression. The pilot takes off again as the dog chases after the plane, but it flies too fast. Left behind, it continues until reaching the end. The dog watches the plane depart, confused about its owner's absence. A security guard approaches, forcing the dog to flee. It slips through a broken fence while being chased by the guard. In a pivotal moment, Palma hides in the airplane repair shop while the old man distracts the guard. The old man kindly offers a cup of water to the dog after they leave. Palma relaxed slightly, but the sound of an airplane made the dog rush toward the airport, believing its owner had arrived, ignoring the old man in the process. Its hopeful eyes searched for the person it was waiting for, but found no one. Everyone was concerned the dog might bite, prompting the security guard to use a stick to push him into the car, as the captain hated dogs. He aimed a shotgun to end it, but the old man intervened just in time, leading to a heated argument. A child quietly climbed onto the car while the captain was distracted by a fearful dog. He gently comforted the dog, and once it calmed, he opened the car door, allowing Palma to escape. The captain was furious and wanted to beat the boy, but the boy's father, the pilot, walked by just then. The captain nodded, startled, as he watched them leave. The father's assistance indicated a troubled relationship between them. The boy's parents divorced long ago, and he depended only on his mother. The father was absent, and the mother recently died. Custody naturally went to the father. The boy always thought his dad abandoned them, causing his mom to leave, and he wanted to return home. The boy quietly left the house while his dad slept. He wasn't old enough to buy a ticket, so he sneaked in with passengers and used his charm to hold the girl's hand. But even then, he was stopped by security at boarding, and Yuta was about to call his dad. The boy vanished as soon as he turned around. He hid in the plane's landing gear to avoid detection. A dog recognized the boy and barked loudly, drawing the staff's attention. The boy jumped from the landing gear and ran away with the dog. The captain frantically searched for the missing child and eventually found him at the mechanic's house. While he slept soundly with the dog, the man was furious. He scolded the boy, pointing at his nose. The mechanic arrived promptly, allowing the captain to complete his flight while the boy waited. He promised to keep an eye on him until his dad left. The boy's face suddenly drooped, blaming the dog. If it weren't for it, he would have left long ago. The old man felt helpless as the temperature at high altitude was dangerously low, but the dog's intelligence prevented it from freezing. The boy was startled and cast a grateful glance at the dog. The two lonely souls supported each other daily, longing for their lost loved ones. The dog went to the airport each time the plane landed. The animal hoped to see its owner, unaware that the man had cruelly abandoned it at the airport to save on shipping fees. Seeing the dog looking dejected, the boy decided to help it find its owner. A small figure began appearing in the airport's landing area. They were waiting outside the plane when the ticket inspector chased them away. Suddenly, a familiar figure appeared before him. It was his owner. Palma happily chased the shuttle bus, but it left too soon. The dog, determined to reach its owner, ran to the exit but was thwarted by a security guard. The captain, frustrated by failed attempts, wanted the dog removed. And so, another chase began. The ticket hall was in chaos. The dog managed to catch up with the man right before he was about to leave. The dog licked the man's hand, startling him as he turned to see a stranger, leaving the dog feeling sad. Hope faded instantly as he faced the security blockade, leaving him powerless to resist. The boy arrived just in time to block him with a stick. With the boy's help, Talma successfully ran out. The leader was enraged upon discovering this and threatened the captain to quickly locate his son to keep his job. To assist with catching the dog, the captain abandoned it and led security to the repair room. The boy, seeing the dog's fear, wanted to help but was restrained by his father, leading to a complete fallout between them from that day forward. The boy screamed that he would prefer to freeze on the landing gear than live with his cold-hearted father. The man stormed out after a big fight, fuming in his car. He was perplexed about why his son was so hostile towards him. In that moment, he recalled his son's letter to the dog's owner. Upon reading it, he realized the dog meant no harm. It was simply waiting for its owner who had lost it during disembarkation. The fear of parental abandonment is profound. The father, moved by his son's childish handwriting, grasped his son's feelings of grievance and anxiety. The father's heart shattered as he saw his son choose the reign over his company. After much thought, he finally decided. Sandy's dedicated agents are fully prepared to pick up his son so they can embark on a mission to save Palma and assist him in locating his rightful owner. When they reached the kennel, Palma had escaped with all the dogs. Palma chose to go in the opposite direction from the other dogs, indicating a decision. Upon hearing this, the boy quickly went to the repair area, but the dog was missing. The boy smiled knowingly as he ran towards the airport, hearing the airplane. The dog rushed like a wild horse, and the boy ran to greet it, but they missed each other. He gazed intently at each passenger by the ladder, impressing the captain. A journalist reported the dog's story, creating a huge sensation. Leaders were thrilled with the publicity, leading them to promote the dog as the airport mascot and create a viewing area for visitors. Many passengers visited the airport to see the dog, but it remained unhappy, waiting for its owner. The clever dog realized what was happening when its owner placed it into a shipping crate. The owner had not forgotten, but had given up. Palma's years of perseverance crumbled in an instant, leaving her heartbroken on the ground. It ceased eating and drinking, resigning to death. Leaders were very concerned. Concerned about issues with their cash cow, they called a doctor. The doctor concluded the dog was physically fine, but its heart was dead and unlikely to survive the night. The leader frowned and abandoned the dog to face death alone. It heard its owner's voice in a daze. It opened its eyes wide in surprise, sensing something approaching. But was it merely an illusion crafted by its own deep longing for connection? It rained heavily that night, as if mourning for the dog. The boy rushed over after hearing the news, kneeling beside the listless dog, comforting it by resting his head against it. The boy, unable to hold back his anger at the dog's silence and despair, shouted hysterically. The boy removed his shirt to cover the dog and stayed close to Palma. The boy woke up to the dog licking him, now ready to start a new life together. Palma's owner unexpectedly returned, disrupting their happy life. The leader gathered reporters to observe the emotional moment. The captain prepared to return Palma, which led to a fierce argument between father and son. The father, noticing the boy's anger, advised that if he truly cares, he should let him choose. Reporters gathered at the airport to cover the dog's reunion with its owner. Irma felt no excitement as the man approached and instinctively wanted to flee. The boy prompted the dog to approach its owner. The boy realized it was time to let go and pass the leash. Heartbroken, he started to leave, but Palma was held back by the owner. The dog realized the boy loved him the most. Seeing his son so sad, the captain felt pity. He approached the dog's owner to buy Palma, but the man firmly refused. A dog waiting for its owner became national news. The owner faced criticism for being heartless, prompting his superior to suggest reinstating Palma for positive publicity. The captain understood that the man returned not to take Palma, but to retain his job. The dog's owner was ready to go home with the dog. But when Palma saw the boy, his eyes showed reluctance. He sprinted toward him, but was halted by security. The boy pleaded for his dad's help. On the plane, the man reflected deeply and ultimately chose to strike together, risking suspension for his decision. Palma gazed at his owner with reluctance and pleading eyes. The man felt heartache from losing the dog and couldn't bear to cause it more pain. The owner smiled with relief as he untied the leash, freeing the dog.